What's up, everybody? Excuse the noise in the background. I just got off from work. Of course, I got a couple things I got to do, but I've had quite a bit on my mind. And I want to talk about it all out. I've already exhausted myself with talking to myself about it. And that is, with the acquisition of a job, I still feel a sense of emptiness. I had a conversation with a friend of mine who I used to work with, Steven. He was a team lead at Walmart. I had a conversation with him just now. And I've had these conversations with these people, being homosexual or trans or whatever you want to call it, or whatever, that these people have shown me the most kindness, the most mercy. They've shown themselves to be the most help that I've received during my time of unemployment. Hell, even when I was employed. And something that kept coming up in my life, I would say for the last couple months, is the fact that people keep mentioning God. Man, you need to trust God, pray to God. And I take every single encounter with people to heart. Obviously there is some moments of just casual conversation, but for the most part, I take everything people say as their particular scene in my movie. That's something I need to listen to. That might be a message. And I've gone through quite a bit, as you guys know, if you don't know. And I still ask myself from time to time, am I in this position because of something I've done wrong? Am I in this position because of something I've done right? Am I in this position because I'm living a past life? Am I in this position because I really am what it is to be a someone who really walks with God? What is the reason why? And whatever that reason is, I've been willing to accept it. And I've been willing to accept it for almost a decade, where it all started in high school period, when I talked about I didn't graduate. My grades, my classes, these things started to become a problem in my life, to the point where, as a kid, I felt hopeless, trying to figure out, well, why can't I do as well as my brothers and other kids in my class, And I feel like when I made the decision, I told God, look, man, I know I don't want to be a nobody as far as no job or in and out of jail and, things of that nature. I knew I didn't want to be like that. And I was like, I completely opened my heart. And this was before meditation. But I completely opened my heart to God as in regards to, I want answers. I want to know why am I going through this? And I told him, I said, look, man, the relationship that I don't have with my dad, if I can have that relationship with God, meaning I can talk how I'm talking now, and I can feel that like I'm being heard or what have you, then I'm open to that. So in a sense, I did completely sell out to God. I was like, man, look, I'm not doing good in school. My relationship with my parents suck. You know, I'm clearly a representation of what it means to be the middle child. And I'm trying to curb all of this stuff to just be accepted. So that was the beginning of the awakening process of me seeing things just different. And it's, in the grand scheme of things, no, I'm nobody special at all. But when you walk this path, it adds so much nuance. It adds so much context and so much interest in your life, because hell, when I can play my videos back and listen to myself and shake my head like, damn, bro, I agree with that. Not on the level of which I'm insane or a narcissist, but to the point where I'm like, yeah, man, like, you really do sound like somebody who ain't trying to be no victim. Like, you know, so I've had this battle going on in my spirit, I would say probably for the past 3 years. I told you guys, well, I made a video saying that in the past when I told God, like, all right, man, I'll come back. You know what I'm saying? And when I say stuff like that, what that means to me is like, I'll start praying for my food again. I will start thanking this man for every single thing that I know. I'm just not saying it out loud, but I know in my mind, I'm like, how the hell am I managed to be taken care of every day in regards to weed, tobacco, food, some kind of sleep, taking care of my hygiene, taking care of my health, getting a job, having people still in my corner that's willing to help me, all these different things. I'm like, how in the hell? It goes past the point of supernatural. And if it is, I'm like, man, it really does seem like somebody got my back. And I used to be a person that when I hear that, I'm like, nigga, the somebody is God. You know what I'm saying? Don't let this modern day, because that's really what it is. It's information overload of my brain going so far outside of what I know is, just to keep it simple, that there is a God that created you and me and everybody else, and you just have to trust the process. You know, that's what I know to be common sense. Trust the process, bro. When you hear people in their stories and stuff like that, me personally, I don't believe a lot of people when they said that they had to do what they had to do. I don't believe a lot of people. Maybe it's because of my situation where I'm like, if you ain't never been homeless, meaning doing what I'm doing right now, picking up sticks so you can make some hot water and bathe your butt. If you ain't never had to set up a tent and watch your tent, you know, over time wear down, and you know, like, man, I gotta make something happen, or I won't really have nowhere to stay. I mean, hell, I'll have more bugs in here than my own body. They'll completely take over my whole daggone sleeping area. If you ain't never done nothing like that, if you ain't never been in the pouring rain, still grinding, when I mean grinding, about taking, like, if you gotta go wash your clothes, if you gotta go get food, if you gotta go get your really weed, because I don't do other drugs and stuff like that. So if you gotta walk to your weed man house and it's raining, it's cold, it's hot, you taking care of your business. See, I'm somebody that smokes that what it does is it'll numb a lot of the thought process that goes on in my head while I'm doing what I'm doing. And I'll just cut that voice off in my head and just take care of what I have to take care of. Part of being spiritual is that every little thing in your life is a task. And for me personally, I can just speak for myself. I take care of the task that's in front of me. What's the current task? Bathing. I don't want to be walking and breaking sticks and making fires and swatting mosquitoes and doing all. I don't want to. But not only do I want to actually take a hot bath, the obvious, but I'm like, man, this seems spiritually right. It seems spiritually right to go get these sticks and do what I'm doing. If I did not do that, then it would feel like I'm going against what I'm supposed to do. And then that brings about consequences. So I'm not somebody who smokes pot and marijuana or weed and completely lose sight of reality. But whatever the task is, I take care of it. I told, sometimes I don't go to bed till like 6, 7 in the morning and wake up at 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I said it, 8, 9, 10 o'clock. So I'm only sleeping like an hour and a half, 2 hours maybe, 3 at the max. So this lifestyle is very taxing on your spiritual journey. My journey in particular, because I remember as a kid, I've always been a fan of things like Survivor Man. I used to watch Zaboomafoo as a kid, and I love the Amazon and the Congo rainforest and all these things. I used to like that stuff. So I had to be realistic and say, CJ, you remember you used to actually want to live outside. And I said, yeah, I did. Now, of course, it takes away the essence of doing it when you're doing it on your terms. But when you're doing this because you have to, it gives it an entirely different meaning. And it brings about different emotions that I see in real time. It's actually training me to, shout out to my dad, to deal with a monotonous lifestyle. Just when I think I can handle it, I'm the type of person every 45 minutes, I'm getting up and I'm looking for something to do. And I tell myself, man, sit down. Have a seat. You've done enough. And it's not in me. Especially in the summer, man. Now in the winter, I can get away with that. I can sit on my butt, not do nothing. I ain't gotta be fanning and shit. I can do all of that. and say, all right, I've been sitting down for 2 hours. I feel recharged. I remember them last couple days of fall or winter or whatever. And I would literally get an erection thinking to myself, man, I'm gonna sleep like a damn rock. It feels so good outside that it's gonna be hard to wake me up once I'm down. Excuse me, guys, for all the noises. Again, I'm getting bath water ready. I just had to carry all the supplies back to the tent, pick them up and all that. So just excuse me, but I do appreciate you guys for listening to me. So I made a video saying that I'm aware that I'm an unlikable person. And that all came with it because when I was trying to fit in as a young adult, a teenager, it forced me to have to go in the opposite direction of how everybody wanted me to think, feel, act, and all this other stuff. Because it would make me cry. People would say, you don't care about your grades. You don't care about